I'm on this beautiful Southeast Asia island next to the beach, and everyone around me is in these crazy costumes, celebrating life, full expression, giving of their skills and passion. And everyone's there because I invited them with this invitation. If I give you a stage, if I give you an audience, if I give you a platform, what would you be the most excited to share? And hundreds of people made that commitment, came in. We created a container in a space. Some of you were there. And it was absolutely magical. Felt like utopia. And I remember musicians getting on stage, playing for the first time in front of a crowd, and now they got albums out. I remember people doing ceremony and breath work, and they're building these giant art structures that are like a story and a half, collaborating to do this, and they were in their joy. And I remember these facilitators trying out new modalities and testing them in these workshops. Some of them were a little edgy too. And now they're putting them in online programs, transforming people's lives, thousands of people's lives, because they had a place to play, to practice. And I remember this daughter and a mother, and they're holding hands, and they're jumping around in circles, giggling and screaming, and there's this pink unicorn flying above, and then people are jumping in the pool, and there's bubbles everywhere, and this giant inflatable bull just charges through everybody. Thank you, Helix. And this is just one environment. It's one version of where people can be fully expressed and fully themselves, doing their passions and what they care about. Man. And I want to invite you into that possibility that when you are in that purpose, that passion, that whatever version of freedom and abundance you desire is available to you. And it might look totally different. It might just be spending more time with people that you really love. I'm Joe Che. My journey didn't start in that beautiful, euphoric place. It started in Rochester, New York, and this was a really hard place for me because I hate the cold and it's snow above your head. It's not snowing, it's raining. If it's not raining, the sky's gray. And it's like, it was commonplace to just hear jokes, homophobic jokes, racist jokes, sexist jokes, commonplace. And I was doing jobs I did not like. One of them was a food prep cook. And one of the things I had to do was fill these big, white, huge bins full of chopped onions. And I hate onions. Onion comes in the room, my eyes close, it burns, I'm watering, I can't see. And I had to do this forever. And while I was doing that, I remember thinking to myself, what the hell is this? Is this what I'm meant to do in life? Is sit here and chop onions and torture for hours? And the answer was clearly no. So I got out of there. I took this brave step to move to New York City. I struggled for a while. And then I got good at business processes. I got good at automation and technology and software. Started a bunch of businesses there. I was teaching Fortune 5 CEOs, getting paid a lot. But I had my skills of making money over here and the things I really loved to do, community, events, and connection over here. And they weren't aligned. And it wasn't until I moved halfway across the world that I put my purpose first and made a commitment to that. And when I did that, life just started to flow and magnetize. And it just felt so good. And I finally felt like, I am in the role that I am supposed to be in. And I believe that each one of you has a unique calling inside this greater living system that's just like a body. And in a body, everything has a role and it needs to do its role. So maybe you are a red blood cell and you're here to bring life and oxygen to everyone. Maybe you are a white blood cell here to heal, and that's your purpose. Maybe you are a neuron in the brain coming up with new creative ideas that inspire others. But if you're made to be a stomach and you're trying to pump blood like a heart, how are you going to feel? You're going to feel frustrated. It's not working. Ineffective, because you are. But when you are in doing that role that you're supposed to do inside that system, the body needs you to do your role. It needs you, and it's not selfish. That's when you're in flow. People come to you. It doesn't feel like pushing rocks up a hill. It's just like, it's like manifestation just comes, and it's so beautiful. And it feels so good to be in that place. And when you're in that purpose, like in that festival, that container, it was so amazing to watch people, but then they go home and they start punching clocks. They start hunching over their computer on spreadsheets that does not bring them joy. They were chopping their onions. Man, so I started thinking, like, how can I help people get into a more permanent purpose? And I found this concept called Ikigai. And I was teaching that around the world for a lot of years, but then I realized it's just 4 questions, and it wasn't the right questions. It wasn't enough. So I was researching. I found 13 questions can put into a system. And it just gives you back some options of what's your soul purpose and how to make a minimum 6 figures on it. Much, much more usually. And then it gives you an entire task list and a roadmap of how to accomplish that entire thing within 1 year. And I tested it on myself. I was like, wow, nailed it. Tested it with friends, nailed it. Tested it with clients, nailed it. Tested it in groups, nailed it. And 3 to 6 months later, I was getting these emails. It's like, Joe, I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing, and it feels so good, and I'm helping people, and I'm making money at it. I can't believe it. There's someone in this room I'm going to get that email from. That brings me joy. That brings me purpose. And my wish for you guys is you all find that. And if you found it already, thank you. The world thanks you, really, because it takes a lot of brave steps to get out of that comfort zone. And if you haven't yet, I want to invite you to try to answer a question right now. If I were to give you a stage, an audience, to do whatever you wanted to do, and whatever you wanted to do would be successful and you'd make money at it, what would you do? What would you do? Everything is possible. What would you do? That is the first clue. Because you were not made to play a small, you were not made to play a small part on the stage of somebody else. You were made to step up onto your stage. And this is the time to do it. This is your time to shine. Thank you, guys.